It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Hey, today I want to talk a little bit about leasing. Now, keep in mind, I could probably do a 5-hour webinar on leasing. Hell, maybe I'll schedule one of those and do it. But today what I want to talk about is the premature upgrade. The premature lease upgrade and some of the silliness that goes on inside the document imaging channel around the premature lease upgrade. And this all started with a conversation I had from an end user of the document imaging channel. That's right, folks. End users actually reach out to me sometimes. And the end user is actually in a financial vertical. And they called me up and they said, Ray, we got a bunch of machines in our facility, about 15 devices. We were in a 5-year lease. We have 2 years left on that lease. There's another vendor coming into our organization. We kind of like these people. We do some other things with them, and we're thinking, why don't we just give them the copier business? And they said that they could buy out the old lease that we have 2 years left on and put in their equipment, and it wouldn't cost our organization much more money than we were paying now. And we thought, well, we really don't like the vendor we have now, so maybe we ought to do it. But the way they want to do the buyout concerned me, so I wanted to reach out and ask you a couple of questions. And I said, well, what's concerning about the way they're doing the buyout? And the end users told me this. He said, well, we got 24 payments left, and those 24 payments total $38,000. So that's how much we have to pay. If you took our monthly payments that we're paying times the 24 months, it totals $38,000. The new vendor that wants to buy out that lease, what they want to do is they want to write us a check for $38,000, and they want us to use that money to make the remaining 24 payments. And I'm just a little bit miffed. Why the hell would they do that? Why don't they just pay off the $38,000? I know they're probably putting that inside my new deal, but I don't really care because I like these people and I like the equipment, and it's not that much more per month. So I don't really care about that. But it just seems, why are they doing this? And I said, well, they're doing this because they want to make more money. Because your lease that you currently have is a fair market value lease. And not only do they have to pay the payment streams times 24 months, but they'd also have to pay the fair market value on top of that. If they just give you the $38,000 to make the remaining 24 payments, well, they don't have to pay the fair market value. In 24 months, they'll just ship the equipment back to the leasing company. Therefore, they don't have to pay the fair market value. Folks, that'll be in the 5-hour video because it gets complicated. But what the financial company that was talking to me was concerned about was a couple of things. He asked me some very good questions, and that prompted this video. He said, well, the problem I have is that we're a compliance we are a compliance organization. If we got audited on compliance, what if the auditor asked us, where are the copiers that are on this lease? You got 2 leases. You got a lease for the copiers that you have in your facility, and you have this other lease that's still going on that you're paying this monthly payment on, and the machines aren't here. Where are those machines at? And then this financial institution is going to have to tell the compliance officer, well, they're being stored in a warehouse. They're being stored in a warehouse? Well, did they take all the hard drives out of them? I stopped so people could think about this. I mean, if all your information's on those hard drives being stored some warehouse somewhere, they could be mining that information for 2 years. You wouldn't even know it. You wouldn't even know it. Because even the leasing company is not going to ask you to send the machines back for 2 more years. That's kind of interesting, folks. Think about that. What about insurance? Who pays the insurance? I mean, do I insure equipment that's on a lease and it's not even in my office? It's being stored in some warehouse somewhere? Do I insure that stuff? Because the leasing company is going to make me prove I have insurance every year. It's an annual thing. We all know that. So am I going to insure the equipment that they just paid off the payments times the months? I'm going to have to pay for insurance on equipment that's being stored in their warehouse, and I'm going to have to pay insurance on the equipment that's in my office that replaced the equipment that's stored in the warehouse? I stopped so we could think about it. What about property tax? Who pays that? I mean, are they storing the equipment that I have 24 months left in another county? Does the leasing company know that it's in the other county? Did they tell them? I mean, how does that all work? I stopped so we could think about it. Think about the liability. The liability awareness, I call it. What if this person that called me that's trying to get these questions answered, let's just say he got all these questions answered, and then all of a sudden he left the company. and somebody new comes in, and they're sitting there and they're saying, why are we paying this payment every month for this equipment? We don't even have this equipment. Where is this equipment? Oh, it's being stored in a warehouse. What do you mean it's being stored in a warehouse? Yeah, the current vendor bought it out and they store it in a warehouse and we have to pay the payment for 24 months and then they're going to send it back to the leasing company. Do you see how silly this is sounding? Folks, this actually goes on. Well, what if this person doesn't get all this and he's like, well, wait a second, so why are we paying for equipment we don't have? Can you imagine the phone call to the vendor? Yeah, I took over Bob's job and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, hey, we're paying this payment every month for this equipment on this other lease that you all bought off when you brought in the new equipment. Why are we paying the new equipment lease and this old equipment lease? I mean, I don't understand what's going on. And then the sales rep, Jim, you need to go out and talk to ABC Company. They have a problem with the lease. Of course, that person's freaking out. Oh, man, I'm going to go out there and have to explain all this shit to somebody new. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the bottom line. We got to stop doing premature upgrades. We really do. We got to stop the nonsense. And if we have to do a premature upgrade, then we need to buy it out clean. We need to buy it out clean, and we need to stop doing this crap. We need to stop shrink wrapping leased equipment stored at some damn warehouse, probably out of jurisdiction, probably without permission from the leasing company, probably without true awareness with the buyers on the implications of this. Isn't it time we stopped? Isn't it time we just told the customer, you know what? We're going to buy out your lease and it's bought out. Ship the equipment back to the leasing company, wherever they tell you to do it. Just do a clean deal right now. Be done with it. Our industry's got to change some of the craziness it does. Or our industry's end users, they are going to find an innovator who delivers them a better experience, and they're going to run. Just something to think about, my friends, because that end user had some real good questions. And quite honestly, I think a whole lot of end users have a lot of these same questions. Something to think about, and I'll see you all tomorrow, but we all know this: status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you tomorrow.